What's going on? My name's David, this is Spencer, and welcome to Aftermath. Welcome back. Like I said, my name is David, this is Spencer. Welcome back to 912 Aftermath, the sports cast that brings you the best of the 912 area. We had a hell of a third week. It lived up to all the expectations. We can, anything you want to say before we get into it about this week, man?
I'm just happy. September football is here. Like I said last week, college football, NFL football. Actually, yeah, we're not going to talk about NFL. Let's just go ahead and get into this high school.
Well, let's get it. First game, Groves versus Claxton. Groves would lose this 6-35. Tough loss.
I don't know too much about Claxton, but in my picks, I picked Claxton to win. By the way, I went 7-3.
7-3 this week.
So what is that?
That puts you at
29-4 last week.
Yep.
So what about like
36 and 7.
Looking too good.
One that you did not get right last week. Johnson pulled out the win against Brantley County, 18-12.
Yeah, shout out Johnson, man. Shout out Johnson. I'm surprised about that one because after seeing how they performed last week versus Windsor, I was not expecting them to come out and perform versus Brantley. But yeah, they came out, they bounced back. Hopefully this is a good sign for them to turn around their season.
New Hampstead went up to Camden County, and Camden County dealt with that, 51-7.
So I didn't see any of the highlights or hear too much about the game, but just seeing the score, that's what Camden looks like. Camden has always been like that. At least me growing up. I don't know if they always been like that the last few years, but that's how I know Camden to play.
They've always been an issue.
But I was not expecting New Hampshire to play like that. I was expecting New Hampshire to compete. So
it could have been a bad week. They could have been playing off. So
for you to claim you're the third best team in the city, you cannot go out and perform like that.
No. Butler versus Savannah High. Butler took care of that 20-0. Rough game.
Yeah.
On the next one, Calvary versus Charlotte Christian. Calvary would win this 41-10.
That Charlotte Christian team has been to like 4 state championships in like the last 5-6 seasons or something. Like they're a good team up in Charlotte, but I don't know. Calvary came out and put up a dominant performance.
Say when you have 3 of the top 10 receivers
in 3A.
In 3A right now.
Who is it?
All in
Thomas Blackshear, Caden Arnold, Michael Smith.
And Jake?
Thomas and Dupa didn't even play in that game. And they still put up, 41 points?
And see, Jake had, is he number 1 right now? In 3A, I think?
In 3A, Jake's number 1 in passing. Then you got Barton Mixon at Savannah Country Day, who's number 2.
St. Andrews versus Hilton Head Prep. St. Andrews would take care of this 44-0. St. Andrews been...
They putting up some good performances.
Yeah.
I'm ready. I really wish that I want to see them play Memorial.
Yeah.
It's the same day as Calvary Savannah Christian. So I'm not going to be able to make it to that game, but I'm really excited to see how that game
we'll be looking for highlights, though, because we need them.
For sure.
Memorial Day took on John Paul. Again, John Paul falls to another team. Memorial Day won this 28-14.
They went 0-3 versus Savannah. That just goes to show that.
Memorial took care of that.
Come on, man.
Bethesda 34 to Carolina Academy 0.
I'm going to have to pull up to a Bethesda game.
I'm saying they're 4-0 now.
I'm going to check them out one time.
So they're making some moves. Let's get into the Islands Windsor game. Windsor came to play.
Windsor showed up. They were hot off their last win. Last week was that versus Johnson.
Yeah.
So you knew they were coming into this week feeling good. Islands, I thought were going to come into this week feeling good, but...
I thought what I said might have given them a little fire under them and did something.
It gave them fire during the week, but
yeah.
Thursday night came and I guess that fire just went away. Yeah, there's some things going on over at Islands that I'm not going to speak on just because it's really not my place to talk about, but coaching staff over there really kind of hurt them last week because, like I said last week, if you wanted to win, you have to put Amari in. If Islands wants to win, they have to play Amari at quarterback.
Yeah.
They got to play Amari at quarterback. And they did not do that. They benched Amari last week. Then went into this week, benched him again, started Chet. And that offense struggled. They could not move the ball. Windsor's defense was just all over their front. they can't run the ball. They went into that game averaging what, negative 142 rushing yards.
Yeah.
What?
It was like, and Windsor defense showed up. They had two interceptions, one pick six.
And the pick six, I want to say, wasn't that in the red? No, that wasn't in the red zone.
It was, they were on their own 20 or something like
that.
But it was a screen pass. He saw it all the way, dropped back, and he read it perfectly. I think if I remember correctly, I've seen a play by you doing that. Marquise Lannon was the one on the pick six. He had a game. Another person, Marquis Eason. This man was the pulling guard and the D lineman.
Is that 52?
50. That man, now you guards out there. There ain't the only thing y'all like more than a buffet line is pulling.
Oh my god.
And I'm a DB. I know what comes around that corner, and he was loving it every time he came around the corner. I could see a big old smile on his face, and he lit up whoever was there.
Nah, he was having a blast that night.
So Windsor, because of that, pretty much ran on islands all day. They didn't stop. I don't think they stopped the run really twice. They might have had a fumble.
A little bit. So it's not like Windsor was just killing them in the run game. It's just they were just way more consistent and they were way more balanced. They could run the ball and they could just gain yards. Islands couldn't move the ball. They can't run, so everything was screen passes and quick passes. But man,
they became one-dimensional real fast.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. I feel bad for those kids over there.
Yeah,
I feel bad for them, especially those seniors, because this was the game you had a chance to win, and they could have won. They put Amari in the fourth quarter, and when they did that, the offense started moving the ball. All those coaches over there know that Amari was their best option to win the game. You went 0-10 last year. Help these boys get a win this year, because you see how your schedule's lined up. It's not getting any easier. You got Brunswick, BC, Wayne County, Burke, New Hampstead. It's not going to get any easier.
Yeah.
Windsor was the one team where y'all were evenly matched, where y'all really could have competed. And those coaches really hurt that team because...
And I felt bad for Chet. Because I didn't want Chet to think that this whole game is on him. Chet, if you're watching, the coaches set you up for failure.
First of all,
they didn't set up the run. They forced you to throw over the middle. When ultimately the plays were outside, you have Jaden on the outside, which Jaden had a insane catch. If you haven't seen the TikTok, it was a short, one-handed.
Catch was nasty.
The ball was kind of thrown a little bit behind him, but he just made a full 180, snagged it. I want to say left-handed.
I think it was his left.
I want to say his left hand and took it in the end zone. But
if we had Amari in from the jump, it could have been moving the ball all 4 quarters. But that game was not on Chet. Like I said, Chet clearly he's still young, he's still learning. He's just not ready. But the coaches know that. The team knows that. So for the fact that they just threw him out there, that's just crazy to me. But that offensive line, terrible.
I don't even know if
I'm
they played.
I'm going to go ahead and say it right now. Island's offensive line, all 5 of y'all, if y'all are watching this, please, something needs to change. Go back, watch that footage because y'all played terrible. 5 pre-snap penalties on one drive. I want to say 4 pre-snap penalties on the other drive to move y'all out of the red zone where y'all had a chance to score. That's not Chet's fault. Y'all killed Chet. Y'all killed the offense on that part. So, O-line, D-line didn't do too bad, but D-line had a lot of offsides. Y'all need to clean that up. And missed tackles. Who was
Isaiah Cooper.
Oh my God.
Number 8. He was running quarterback at the time. Wildcat.
Is that backup quarterback? Is he a running back?
He's a running back. They threw him in there in a Wildcat, but I can't remember exactly, but I believe it was 5, 6 missed tackles on that one play.
Yeah, there was 5 missed tackles.
So you'll see it up on the screen. We'll throw it up on the screen right here. But
oh my gosh, yeah, that was missed tackles, not being disciplined. Just it's so much going on in there, man. I'm so disappointed.
Who knows? They might be able to pull one back out later in the season. But other than that, it was a good game. We enjoyed watching it. But on to the game of the week that I think the whole city wanted to see. Everybody was out there. We were out there. The news was out there. The scouts were out there.
It was a TV game. Everybody was tuned into
and we had the best seats in the house.
We had the best seats in the house. Right there.
But we'll get into it. BC versus Ware County. Going into this, BC is back-to-back defending state champs. Ware County, I believe, has been to the state
They won the
championship.
state championship last year. In fact, so BC won back-to-back in 4A,
Mhm.
and Ware County is the defending 5A state champs.
So this was a battle of the champs, and they lived up to it because Ware County actually got out early on this one.
Yeah, they jumped up to a 14-0 lead. And I'm not going to lie, after they were up 14, I wasn't nervous for BC, but I was sitting there like, okay, like, I've never seen BC in this situation. I was excited to see how they would react to that moment. And as you see, they reacted great. I love the coaching staff over there. Those coaches, they hold them accountable. Obviously, they're back-to-back state champs. But they show so much passion. And that's just something that you don't see with a lot of these coaching staffs out here. There's a few coaching staffs.
You can tell they really like playing for them.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Because they get into it. They get into it with them. I mean, every turnover, which they had quite a few of them, but every turnover, that whole sideline was crazy. The student section was crazy. The crowd was crazy.
First of all, BC's defense is just...
They're dogs.
nasty.
They're dogs.
Their front seven is dangerous. To me, I think they have the best secondary in the city.
Easy.
I don't know who else has a more complete secondary than BC right now.
So they got, because who's on that secondary?
I mean,
who was number two?
Number 2, yeah, they had Micaiah Williams. He had 2 interceptions, a fumble recovery. I want to say Bryce Baker had 2 fumble recoveries, if I'm not mistaken. There was a lot of big hits out there. Like, BC...
They were there to play, and they knew they had to play. They had to show up.
For sure. They looked dominant, especially after falling... When they fell 14-zip, what was that? In the first... After that first quarter,
First quarter
BC just looked like a state championship team again.
And the thing is, Ware didn't fold easy on this one. Even after BC walked their way back into the game, I believe they brought it back to 17-14 at half. Yep. I believe. Ware County came out, still was hype. I was on their sideline. There at one point when my friends tried to call me, he could barely hear me. It was so loud over there.
Nah, it was the energy in that stadium was just crazy. Those are the games I love to be at because the atmosphere is just so wild. Like, pre-game when BC student section threw out a baby powder up in the air, I was like, oh yeah, we got this one. Like, you already knew what it was right after that moment. Like, we got us a good game. I'm calling it now, man.
I would say, I was going to comment, you posted something on your story the other day, will BC three-peat?
Bro, if they stay healthy.
After seeing them against Ware County?
That was the game I needed to see. Yeah. And I love that they went down 14-zip. Because I was able to see them come back and beat Adversity, and I was like, oh yeah, after seeing that against a top-tier team like that, and after seeing what they did to them North Carolina boys last week,
oh yeah,
I was like, oh yeah, if BC stays healthy, I like the three-peat. And I'm definitely going to be at that game this year. Oh, yeah. I missed the first 2 state championships. Can't miss the third.
Coach, if you're watching this, get us on the field.
Come on, man. I need them sideline passes.
We got to get the good footage of y'all boys taking the ship for the 3rd time.
Come on, man.
But no, anyways, that is all we have for this episode. We again appreciate y'all watching this on this Tuesday. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, share with your families. Share with coaches, any teams out there that want us to start trying to fit them into the shows, come out and see their games, tell them to hit us up. But thank you again. Until next time, peace.